वनक्कम, मैं हैदर अली सैयद आशीर्वाद से यूनाइटेड अंडर तमिल सेवा. I read the chat.
So,
Let's start with Adam. So
okay.
Adam, color and language, and where he landed. The three questions in connection with Adam.
Okay, so what chapter should I start with in the Bible to okay, because my reference point is Torah and Bible.
Yeah.
So what chapter should I go with to be able to keep up with what you are expressing?
See, first of all, Adam is there, and we everyone believes in Adam, and Adam is a Tamil word. A stands for God. Dam refers to breath, God given breath, and the Hebrew is not the first language. So
Okay, so where
first,
where do I find a connection point for Adam
see,
being or
see,
God being Tamil?
see, the thing is, uh, lots of distortions has been taken place in Bible. So we, and plus after the flood also they have removed the history of Tamils. So when we are the first people on the earth, we are the mother colony, and the rest of the race on this earth is our children. And history of Ibrahim starts after around 4,000 years back. So our history is far more starting point. So the question is, when you when the people talk that Hebrew is the first language, Ibrahim is a Hebrew, then Noah is a Hebrew, and Adam is a Hebrew, and Hebrew is the God's language. So it's not the right information which the people are giving to the world. When Tamil is the first language, why people are talking about Hebrew? That's what the first question is.
Well, I sincerely feel I'm a unifier. I'm not here to debate any point because I'm here to get a better understanding. Um, I sincerely feel that people perhaps would, and I'm not speaking for everyone. I'm speaking on my general understanding. Um, would express those things is because, like myself, I have no starting point to connect Tamil to Adam. And so that is why I'm here. I'm here to see what steps can I make to trace all the things that I had learned from a little daughter until now. How do I connect those things to Tamil? Where can I go in the piece of the puzzle that I have and find Tamil and then walk with you and trace it
Yes.
so that way the confusion that has been going on, because I trust me, I don't disagree or agree because I simply do not recall Tamil's existence within the Bible. However, there is information that you have and others have that you all may be able to recall and be able to show, hey, this is Tamil in the scriptures, and this is the connection point. That way, those who have excluded Tamil can be shown and corrected if it is fact.
Yes. See, in Sri Lanka, like I have said, first language Tamil, first human black, and cradle of civilization is Sri Lanka, Tamil Nadu, and Kumari Khandam, the Lumeria, which everyone is talking about. The submerged continent, which submerged during the timeline of Noah. So, so the first, if you Google it out on YouTube, just put Adam Bridge, Adam Foot, Adam Peak. You will it will lead you to Sri Lanka.
Right. I can go there, but I'm saying, okay, okay. I understand that. I can go there. What is the name of it again? Or can you type it in the chat while I'm speaking? Also, and I want to express, yes, I can go there. However, if what I go to there isn't a step for me to step on mentally in order to connect what you are expressing to what I've been um, taught or shown or read or studied over the years, then it'll be like, one story against another. What I mean
Yeah,
by that is I'm looking for some type of corroboration between what is written in the Bible in what you are presenting, because that way I can say, okay, once I find a corroborative information, I can then go by and say, okay, well, this is fact because both of them say so. This is fact, that's fact because both of them say so. And then I can find out where is the division happening, where is the problem happening, where is it happening that Tamil is left out specifically in the scriptures. And then I can go on to ask the question why, and then find out how was it done, etc. Like those are my thought processes in terms of
yeah,
me understanding what you are saying and unifying with that information.
yeah. I got it. So, I will just I'll finish off with color, language, and cradle of civilization. I have given you cradle of civilization, that is Sri Lanka. Then, regarding the language, if you do some linguistic studies, you will come to know that Tamil is the oldest surviving language on the earth. And regarding what was the color of first human, again, it leads us that he was a melanated, a black man speaking Tamil language. Adam was a black man speaking Tamil language. Now, coming to the biblical term, God says in the Bible that I have created mankind in my own image, in my own likeness, and I have given him the dominance over the world. So, image of God, because the problem is about wrong interpretation of the Bible. Image of God, because see, when we, how can human be image of God? Because we human are not one and only. We are three in one. We are God's particle, we are earthly material, and we have a DNA. So, so the image of God can be activated when you do meditation and activate the seven Kundalini chakras. But as per the Bible, people, they say meditation is a devilish work. This is what they have been preaching in our country, in India. And then in the own likeness means all the information on all technology was given to, as per our Tamil tradition, everything was given to first Siddha, that is Shiva. Interpretation, how to activate the image of God. So, as per our tradition, when we do meditation and we activate our seven Kundalini chakra, that's the time when we human become an image of God. So, this concept has been distorted by the Torah and the Gospel organization.
I'm still looking for I can understand that, I can reason that. I'm still looking for the language connection. I did look online and I saw it's expressed about Tamil being the oldest language. However, some sites I look at, they have listed here, they have Hebrew at the top, and then they have of course it says here, it says I'm on lingual consultancy. It says Hebrew 10th century BCE. Then I scroll down and I see Basque, and it says year unknown, Basque country. And then it says Tamil 300 BCE, India and Sri Lanka. And then they have Arabic, which they have no dates for it on this particular site I'm on. So how do I settle the difference where one site says Tamil is the oldest, and it has it at it says at the top here it says 5,000 years old, and then the other one it lists Hebrew at the top. So how do I settle that word one word against the other?
Like we Tamil people are practically we are speaking that language, and Hebrew is just a language for the rabbis. So how can you the common people language is what God has given to everyone, not a language that was created for certain group of people who can do whatever they want in the name of God. So Hebrew is a rabbi language, not a common people language. Tamil is a common people language. We still, how many? Just check it out. What is the percentage of Tamil speaking people in the world? Yes, sir.
You said Tamil is a common people's language, and you say Hebrew is what you said again?
It's a rabbi speaking a priestly cult language.
Okay, so what you're saying is the common or basic language is basically the foundation, and then comes the priestly language. Like the base language is Tamil, and then the Hebrew and all other languages or whatever come on top of that.
Yeah, it evolved
It's
later
like a
on, not
foundation. Are you saying
yeah
are you saying like
yeah.
Tamil is the foundation language that all the other languages are
See,
built on?
as per our tradition, God's language is Tamil. Written form, oral language was taught by to Adam, and the written language was given to third son of Adam, that is Set alias Shiva. And Shiva was given all the information on all subjects. That's why Shiva plays an important role in a civilization, whether it be Set in Kemite civilization, and even in Shiva Natraj statue is at Switzerland. Switzerland lab is there. CERN laboratory, it is there, and plus Shiva can be is present in all the ancient tradition, ethnic society. So as per our Tamil tradition, and that all this thing has been confirmed by Quran. Quran confirms all the Tamil tradition. As far as Bible is concerned, the Torah and the Gospel. See, first of all, Torah and Gospel, the words it was given to children of Israel. It was not meant for other people. The information from Adam, Noah, and family of Ibrahim was there in the Torah, and the Torah people distorted their book to suit bloodline of Cain, because Bible was not for the Gentiles. But now, when we see Torah was given to the white people, and we have Russia, we have a Jewish country all over, Judaism religion followers who follow the Prophet Moses. So, but Torah is basically for children of Israel. And when we talk about Jesus again is connected with lost sheep of house of Israel, not for Gentile. So how this Torah and Gospel was given to the bloodline of Cain, means the white people, the European people, the hunter-gatherer cannibal society. So this, to make it suitable for those people, Bible has been distorted, and they have made it a point to remove the Tamil history, Tamil culture, Tamil tradition out of the Bible to suit the bloodline of Cain. And that's the reason why children of Israel have killed many messengers. They have distorted their book, and ultimately they are now facing the punishment of God. They have strayed from the straight path. So talking about the straight path, the tradition way of life. If we make a list of the tradition part, which the part which the principle of the straight part, then one of the basic principle about is the kuldevam, or the ancestral get together. As per our tradition, we get together to our tribal head, and then we sacrifice an animal and we feast. This was the ancient practice of our people. And the same thing was appointed for bloodline of Ibrahim also. Mecca was the ancestral get together for family of Ibrahim. But since Ibrahim, children of Israel, they gave their uh, ancestors to the bloodline of Cain, because we all know that Europeans were hunter gatherer cannibal society. They ate their ancestors. So ancestral, the importance of the ancestral is not there compared to other cultures like Chinese, Indian, African, even Americans. They have a very close connection with their dead people, but Europeans, they don't have. So now, if we ask anyone, the children of Israel, where is their ancestral get together place, they will never be able to answer. But if you ask any of the African culture or Chinese culture or Indian culture, the tribal, where is the ancestral get together, they will say this is our ancestral place of get together. So one of the basic principle of God's religion is ancestral get together, which children of Israel or the Bible thumpers are rejecting.
Okay, ancestral get together is. May you explain that once more so I can grasp it? Maybe I overstand it in principle versus the term that you gave it. So may you please explain that once more? So in a slightly different way, so that way I can um be able to absorb what you express about the family get
Yes.
ancestral get.
Yeah, the ancestral get together in our language, it is called Kul Devam. Kul means the tribal or caste, a get together place for that particular tribe. So when they every year, they every time every year, the people from that particular tribe, they get together at particular place, and they remember their ancestors, and they remember the god, and then whatever the tradition is there, they will follow, and they sacrifice the animal. the, so this was the culture. Still people are practicing this culture in India, and the same culture you will find in China, you will find in Aborigines, Australians, or in every culture you will find it, except for European people or the bloodline of Cain. Now the question, now this is the first part. Since Ibrahim became the head of family of Ibrahim, same thing was given to him about the ancestral get together at Mecca, then a sacrifice of animal at Mina, which the family members of Ibrahim, they are not following it. You're getting the point now. You're with me till now.
Okay, so you're saying that the ancestral meeting place is what melanated beings, rich melanated beings do, and that's what we have in common. And
Yes.
the bloodline of Cain, which is the Caucasian, they do not have that. And you say that you express that within the ancestral get together place, um, people come together and they remember family, they remember the Most High God, and then you say that afterwards, I guess to end out or close out or to mark that time frame, a sacrificial performance is done in a
Yes.
form of like marking that time frame.
Yes. A feast. So similar thing was given
And
to,
you said
because
a
since this
feast.
is
You said a feast.
yeah,
A
yeah, feast,
feast.
yeah,
So
feast,
basically,
yeah, feast.
an animal is sacrificed, and a feast is done to basically mark or, I guess, be the culmination of the entire event. The
Yes.
feast is like the culmination of everything.
Yes. So this culture is not done after Ibrahim. This culture was done before Ibrahim, right from the beginning in our tradition. So now that since Ibrahim was chosen by God, tested and chosen by God, and then the same culture was given to the family of Ibrahim through Ismail. So when we do sacrifice of animal in Mina, and ancestral get together place at Mecca, which members of the family of Ibrahim are getting together? The question is that. But since we have give with the children of Israel, they have given Torah to the bloodline of Cain. children of Israel, they have given Bible to the bloodline of Cain, and this is how we have come to a religion called Judaism and Christianity. You're getting the point now. So first of and to suit because since God clearly says in the Bible that He will not see the face of Cain, that means no prophet, no messengers are going to be among them. And since when Jesus is a melanated guy, he when the nomads they came to them, Gentiles who came to them trying to teach get some words from of God by Jesus.
Okay, so okay, I understand, and I'm doing my best to be very objective as much as possible. So with the bloodline of Cain, are not the Caucasians creations of the Most High God? I mean, are they not creations? Or have and I want to say in the sense of having that connection, if not more, to the Most High God? Like, are they not connected to the Most High in form of creation, in the form of that they were created by the Most High? What I do recall is me hearing you finish elaboration on the ancestral family gathering, and so then I asked the question: are not the Caucasian also creations of the Most High God and have that connection at the very least?
Hello, you can hear me now?
I can hear you, and I'm
Yes,
saying
yes.
this based upon Isaiah 45.7 degrees. So that's what I'm
Hmm.
basing my question on. And I'm also,
Hmm.
basing it on the fact of the Most High being, all powerful and, the creator for all things from what I've been taught. So are the Caucasian, should we say the seed of Cain, are they not the creations of the Most High God?
Yes, they are. They are, but they are facing the wrath from the God because of their ancestors. Because in Bible, when Cain, what God said to Cain, "I'm not going to see your face. You will not. The land will be forbidden for you." That's the reason why they were not agriculturist people. They were mostly flesh eating people. And the story of the earth which they are trying to tell, that they came out as from the ice age and how they became civilized, that's their history. In the Tamil traditions, we have only two ages. The four ages which the Europeans talks about is basically their history. In Tamil culture, we have only two ages. One is the age of a good king, and the other is the age of a bad king. And there is a Kal Yugam. Kal Yugam is basically a long period of bad rulers. So this is the ages in our culture, in Tamil tradition, whereas the European people they have four ages. You're getting the point. How they evolved and they became civilized. And from history, we also come to know that 700-800 years when the Moors ruled Spain, they civilized those people. And there is other history also when the Caucasians they came in Iranian plateau. Our Tamil king, Tamil people, they civilized those Caucasians. You're getting the point.
Okay, so I'm hearing you. You say the cane or the cane seed are the flesh eating, and everyone else are the plant eating, from my understanding from you. So, okay, so then will you please help me understand the issue in the Bible where the offering of Abel was accepted, which was, according to what I'm understanding, um it was flesh that was accepted, and Cain's offering was rejected. Was that a rejection of the type of offering? Was it a rejection of, something else? Help me to understand that.
Yes, sir. Uh, uh, First, let's again we go back to Adam. See, Adam is a prophet. He is not given any rules and regulation. So, and as per the Adam used to have many children. Some says he had 64, but with every time a twins was born to Adam, a male and a female. So when the age of marriageable age came near, so since Adam was not given any rules and regulation, so he told Cain and Abel to offer sacrifice so that they can get the law for marriage. So that's the reason why he said to offer the sacrifice, because Adam was not given any. He's not the authoritative person to hold the position of a king. You're getting the point. So that's the reason why he said to offer the sacrifice. So when the law came for marriage was this, that Cain was supposed to marry Abel's sister and Abel was supposed to marry Cain's sister. So, and Cain had a desire to marry his own sister because of color factor, and because of that jealousy and desire, he committed the first murder, and he was cursed and banished from the cradle of civilization. And the second son's sister, that is Abel's sister, she got married to the third son, and the fourth son twins also got married to the third son. This is how in our Tamil tradition we say that Shiva has two wives. You're getting the point.
Okay, but that does not clarify for me the issue of the flesh being accepted and the agriculture or the vegetation being rejected.
uh, Peppa, the thing is, Adam was not given any rules and regulation. It was the third son of Adam, as per the Bible, who was given the authoritative position. He is the king. He's Cain and Seth are the two opposite poles. Adam, because he ate the forbidden fruit, God, as a punishment, was he was not given any authoritative position. You're getting the point.
Okay, so what you mean is there was no re- specific requirement at that time for them. So what is the rejection based on then? If there was no requirement, like specifics, like um
It was a marriage.
I want
It
you
was
I
a
want you
marriage.
like for instance, I want someone to bring me and I express specifically, I want you to bring me a one of my favorite fruits, which is mango, right? I want you to bring me mango, right? And I specified that that's what I want, but someone else finds out that I want fruit and they just go get anything. So I can understand the confusion on that. They don't really hear my specifics, and so they bring something different. And so, but what I'm saying in that story, I mean, what was the preference? Why was there a preference for meat versus vegetation, which Cain offered? I'm trying to get the connection between their habits of what you express in that story.
See, the flesh and vegetable has got nothing to do with God's law. God is not a greedy or something that he wants this. He doesn't have any desire. But the reason why, the first point is that Adam has no authority to rule the people. So, and he was just a prophet, and his duty was to bring as many children as he could. And then when the age of marriage came, he was he had no clarity as to what to do with the children of his children, how to get the children to get married. So so when Cain and Abel offered the sacrifice, the important is not about the sacrifice. The important is the purpose for sacrifice. The purpose for sacrifice was that Adam wanted to have the law for marriage, because in each pregnancy Adam used to have twins, a male and a female. So whether the twins should get married to the same bond together, or with the other thing. So when the law came, Cain was supposed to marry Abel's twin sister, and Abel was supposed to marry Cain's twin sister. So since Cain had already had a desire to marry his own twins, that's the reason why he committed the first murder. It's clear now.
Yes, yes. Listen, I'm so clear on that because I have studied that story via El Holy Torah, which has Atrahasis and Enuma Elish, fused into the book that I read. However, the scroll that I read. However, I'm not understanding the connection of what you're expressing and what I've also read and studied about the marriage between the twin sister and the twin brother, etc. I understand that story, but in order for me to connect what's in the Bible to that, there has to be a point where the information starts to split. And I want to find that point because then I can be able to better understand the path that the writers of the books are trying to take us down, the road that they're trying to take us down. So can you help me to understand the connection when I'm reading the story about Cain and Abel in the Bible? What is the point in there where there's a split? And you said it wasn't about the fruit, it wasn't about the animal or what have you, which I feel it was intention as well. However, I'm doing my best to understand from the narrative that's written there what gives that indication.
Yes, Papa. The thing is that many of the things have been removed from the Bible, and until or unless we don't connect the Adam, Cain, Abel, Set history with the Tamil people, the picture will never be cleared. And if we are going to
Oh,
understand,
okay. I understand
yeah,
you. Okay, I understand. I
yeah,
understand. So what you're saying
yeah,
is the reason that there are holes in many of the stories in the Bible is because the Tamil information or pieces of the puzzle have been purposefully left out of the story. It's
yes,
been left out. So that's why there is empty places of confusion. Am I
yes,
understanding what you express?
yes, true, true. You're getting the point. Now before that, like I speak about Mithraism. Have you seen the Mithraism image where the Mithra is killing the bull?
I think I have seen this in various pictures and perhaps maybe documentary videos.
Yes. So this Mithraism is a secret society that was established during the Mitanni Empire around 1500 BC by the Caucasians, and the bull represent the Pandyans, the first Siddha, the way of life of the first people, the mother colony. So killing the bull means the secret society wants to kill the bull, means they want to kill the tradition way of life which was given to the mother colony. That is the Tamil Pandyan colony. So this is where the problem is. So the Mithraism cult has, if you do research, this Mithraism pagan cult has been inserted in Christianity, in Judaism, in Shia, Sufi, Sunni, Wahhabi, in Hinduism. You will find all these things connected with the Mithraism.
Okay. So then that goes to a question I asked you maybe a month ago, maybe some weeks ago. I would have to ask the question why? What's the practical reason for doing such things, such as trying to or removing Tamil history or information out of the Bible? What is the practical benefit of it? Like, what benefit does it serve the seed of Cain or the Caucasian to remove that information?
Uh, the one thing is about the power. If you look into the Daniel chapter 7, which talks about the four beastly regime, And as per the Bible, as per the researchers, the first beast is the Persians, the second beast is the Roman or Byzantine, and third and fourth, they are confused. But as per my research, the third is the Ottoman Empire, and the fourth is the Kingdom of Saudi. So these are the four beastly regime which will come, and they will be helping in killing the spiritualism part and bringing in the anti-spiritual regime, means materialism concept. So, and one thing more, that when our kings, the Pandyans, after Mahabharat, they were in the phase of greater Kali Yugam, or a long period of bad rulers. Ibrahim was tested and chosen as a replacement, or as a substitute, to hold the banner of truth. But his bloodline never supported the way which Ibrahim followed, but instead they distorted their book. They made that their book suitable to the Mithraism or the pagan cult. They inserted the pagan cult into the Mithraism into Bible, the Torah, and the Bible. And this is how the Mithraism or the Mithra has been found in all over Europe, in Turkey, in Middle East. Everywhere you will go, you will find Mithraism. So that's the reason why children of Israel became a scattered nation as a punishment. They are chosen, agree with that, but they are facing the wrath of God because they distorted their book. They were not supposed to give that book to those people. Even if they had given, they should have followed the tradition way of life which was given to the first Siddha. But they didn't do that. They distorted their book. They did not follow what Ibrahim followed. Plus, they gave some wrong information to the bloodline of Cain. This is their mistake, and that's the reason why they became a scattered nation. The people who say that we are children of Israel, we are chosen people, and if why they are punished then? If they are chosen, why they are punished? Why they became a scattered nation? One should ask them, na?
Okay, so then it goes back to what I expressed earlier. Are the Caucasian not the children or the creation of the Most High? Because if they are, then at some point, all children return home or come home at some point. And I feel the questions that I'm asking are along the lines of, I sincerely feel that the book was changed for the sake of when those creations who are the furthest from the Most High in terms of, the black coming first or what have you, I feel like those creations get the opportunity to return to all, to return to the Most High. And I feel like because they vibrate on a totally different way than the rest of us who have melanin and bloom, it takes some breaking down for them in order for them to return. So of course they have to receive distortion by nature. They are chaos by nature, so they have to receive what they can receive in order to make their journey and return. And I'm saying that in a sense of, that's the only practical benefit I could see in them taking certain things as scripture and changing it or distorting it. And I'm going to take it to this. Real life proof of this is found in the manipulation of food, okay, or should I say the manipulation of sustenance to produce food and drug. Many that I understand, Caucasians do not have the ability to break down or use certain things that are found in the vegetation, fruit, the vegetables, and things of that nature. So they create, hybrid versions or broken down versions, like they say, GMO versions, in order to be able to, eat or absorb. And so I'm saying, in a sense, that the way that the different religious books are on in the world have been broken down, that can only say to me that that is the only way that those creations, who again are farthest away from the Most High in terms of the melanin, that's the way they can absorb it, because they are, according to, Isaiah 45.7 degrees, the Most High created all things, the dark and the light, the good and the evil, the chaos, the recessive and the dominant. beings on the planet. So I that's what I'm on. I'm on the stick of unification. Of course, I'm saying it since that they have a very violent way of doing things, a very chaotic way of doing things. However, I can reason the I guess you say the psychology behind it. Something inside of them recognizes their connection, and they have to um absorb the word of God in the vibration that they vibrate on, because we all vibrate differently on different channels and or different wavelengths. And so I feel like that's a practical reason for them watering down or removing the Tamil information. And the same thing for the Quran as well, because my understanding from you, it has been taken out of there as well. So that's just my reasoning for the sake of unification, not for the sake of I don't want to debate you or debate anyone else on it or divide on it any further. I'm just presenting my piece of the puzzle, what I meditate on, and the questions that I answer. When I ask certain questions, I do my best to also hypothesize or answer the same questions and do my best to understand the other side. Like we say, I say play chess or give the benefit of the doubt or play devil's advocate sometimes in order to add a sense of unification planet wide for earthly humans. And I yield my mic.
Yes, yeah, I agree with you, sister. And one thing I want to add here is that the mistake of children of Israel, the Semitic black race from the bloodline of Abraham, their only mistake is that they have given their holy book Torah to the white people, the Caucasians. And when they ruled Europe for 800 years, they gave Christianity, the King James version, which Jesus never entertained the Caucasians. His mission is limited to lordship of house of Israel, but they gave Christianity to the European people in their 800 years of rule. So, and later on, when the Spanish sailor, because in history there are only two people who knows the sea route. One is the Pandyans, the Tamil people, and the second are the Moors, the from the children of Israel, the Moors people. They know the sea route, and and the people who ruled Europe for 800 years are the Moors people. So when the Columbus wanted to reach India for trade, the Moors took them to in search of India, but they reached America, and then later on they wherever these by sea route these Moors took the Europeans to wherever they ruled. I mean, they brought Christianity to them instead of giving the spiritual part which the whole world is following. Wherever the Europeans invaded, colonized, they introduced Christianity to those people. So the biggest mistake is done by the Moors people, the children of Israel, not the white, because whatever, because I don't blame the European people, because European people are like a blank cassette, see, blank CD. So whatever information was given to them by their master, and their masters 800 years were the Moors. So they have given them the wrong information. So, and that's the reason why the whole world is suffering, because of these bloodline of Ibrahim, not because of the bloodline of Cain. You're getting the point. The first batch is the Mithraism, that is around 1500 BC, and this 800 years is in AD. So the biggest mistake was done by these 800 years of rule done by the Moors in Europe. That's the biggest mistake, and that's the reason why today the slavery by slavery is there. Slave trade started with the help of their own people, the children of Israel. They started the slave, but maybe they have used Spanish name for their protection. You're getting the point.
Okay, so I understand that. Okay, and for the sake of unification, in the Word of God, I study um, both of the testaments, and it expresses in there that Yeshua, Christ Jesus expresses from what my understanding, that he has sheep that are not of this fold, and that they shall come together and basically have one shepherd. So wouldn't that be the unification between the melanin rich beings and the Caucasian beings, or should I say the children of Cain with the Israelite? Wouldn't that be type of unification?
Yes, sir. The unification will take place only when they return to the original part. That is that the God guided part which was given to first Siddha, or the
Oh,
first
okay,
man
okay.
to
I get what
receive
you're
all this.
saying. What
Yeah,
you're saying is that
that's the.
they have the opportunity. It's just that the way that they behave or operate these days in time is directly against what was originally prescribed for God's children. Am I understanding that they have deviated so far away? Am I understanding you, as it pertains to the Caucasian, that they have grossly deviated away from the order that the Most High has given His children? What I was
Yeah.
expressing is, so basically, I'm understanding from you that the Caucasian, okay, because what I was expressing is that you said, the Israelite gave over the holy books to the Caucasian, and basically the Caucasian took them and basically distorted the information. And so, what I was expressing is that I feel that it was an attempt to help unify the entire body. But somewhere along the line, obviously, the Caucasian distorted the information, grossly distorted information. And what you're expressing, from what I'm understanding that you are expressing, is that they can unify once they come in line with exactly what was presented and not a distorted form. Kind of like, you got to stop the GMO. You have to go and eat the original food. You cannot distort the word of God and still be obeying the word of God. Like, and that's what I'm understanding. What I'm hearing when you speak, that is what I am hearing in the spiritual realm, in my soul, as it pertains to the relationship between the seed of Cain, or the Caucasian, and the rest of the planet. That they have grossly changed or morphed the word of God, or the Bible, to the point that it's no longer a path for them to be counted amongst others, and that the Israelite gave them the holy book, and they've taken it and run with it without doing what is originally prescribed. And I hope that I am doing my best to articulate it in a way that makes sense, because I'm
Yes,
doing
yes,
my
yes.
best to unify with what you're expressing. So you can interject at any point.
No, no, you're right. But actually, I don't blame because we are all creation. We are creation of God, and we have the same material. Whether it be Caucasians, whether it be Tamil, whether it be children of Israel, we have the same material. We have God's spirit, we have earthly material, and we have the DNA. So when we do meditation, when we do vipassana, or we can change our coming generation. So when we know the truth, we can change our coming generation, because we cannot change the past. Whatever our ancestors have done in the days of ignorance, we cannot change. But after coming to the right part, or when we know that this is the truth and this has to be done, then we can change our coming generation through meditation, and we can rectify our DNA. That's and so that the coming generation can be pure, because the whole purpose of this creation is that uh, for a because soul is pure. Soul is God's breath or God's particle. So when the God's particle is coming into the womb of the mother, that DNA should be pure. So the whole concept, and the reason why Noah flood was taken place, because they were doing genetical engineering at that time, because God doesn't want the pure seed to be corrupted. So that's the reason why Noah flood took place. And today we are in that same period where they are doing the genetical engineering and GMOs and all that. And I feel that we are very close to end time because of the things is happening, because we are in the same days of Noah's.
So, when you express that we are all the same, I can say, as it pertains to melanin rich beings and Caucasian, I would say we are similar. Like, what I mean by that is, like you saying, the DNA and the God particle, etc. Um, I because of what we're taught, we say, well, the black has the soul and the others do not, or the recessive do not have the soul. And so I am of the understanding that that is the difference. That is the single difference alone. And it's not that they do not have a means to connect, but they don't automatically come with that foundation of soul. And so I'm saying, in a sense of, um is it even meant for them to connect in a certain way? Is it even meant, like, is it where they are
No,
to forever
no, see,
remain in a certain vibration?
yes, yes, sister, they can, because they have the God particle. They are we human being are basically, that's the reason why in our culture we say we are three in one. We human are basically three in one. We are God's particle, God's breath, we are earthly material, and the DNA, the blueprint of life. We are three in one. And this concept was taken over by the Mithraism secret society, which became as Indra Varun Mitra. And then the same thing was, and the religion was created. And in India, we have Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh, the three Murti. And when the Roman Empire came, they introduced Father, Son, and Holy Ghost. So these three in one concept applies to human being, not to God. So whether it be Adam, whether it be Cain, whether it be Seth, whether it be Ibrahim, or his descendant, or whether it be Chinese, everyone is connected. Is three in one. We are all having the same material. The thing is that when the children of Cain, European people, the Caucasian people were getting educated, the people who educated them, they did not do their job. I'm referring to the people who had Torah and Gospel. So they did not teach what was supposed to be taught. So that the teacher. This is the teacher's mistake, not a student mistake.
Can you sincerely hold on? Tell me, can you sincerely say that they did not teach what they were supposed to be taught? What I mean by that is this: if okay, I'm of the understanding that the Caucasian, right? We say the word, they are calcified, meaning that they, are, when they are born, they have a certain level of um uh calcification to their pineal, a certain level of, no type of memory of different things, like, or what have you. So they're unable to necessarily connect to certain things. So is it that the teachers did not teach them what they should learn or know? Or is it that the teacher had to modify the lessons to get them as closely to learning as best as possible? And what I mean by that is this, like I said, I feel like they are the farthest of creation in terms of earthling humans. However, they are still there. And I feel like the modifications to the holy books was done so that they too could return to all, could return to from whence they come in terms of being created, and also unite with those who are before them, which are the melanated beings on the planet. I mean, I guess I could say that they were not taught what they were supposed to have been taught. But then again, I can say, well, is it really that, or has it been rephrased for them? And I'm saying that in a sense that I got into a dialogue with a good brother dealing with, the word of God, and it was said, hey, sister, if you write a letter and you send it to someone, and you send it.
The thing is, see,
What I was told is what I was
yeah,
told is, and it said, well, wouldn't you want the person who is um basically delivering your letter or reading your letter to the other people, wouldn't you want them to say exactly what was in your letter? And so I said, well, I do want them to express exactly what is in my letter. However, I understand that if who I'm sending the letter to does not exactly speak the language that I speak, I'm okay with that being translating it into a vibration that the other side can comprehend and be held accountable for hearing. And so
yes,
I'm saying, in a sense, when I'm saying that, I'm using that analogously to what the Caucasian does or has done or is doing, which is they have taken words from the Most High, and someone has phrased it in a way that they can overstand on their vibrational level, meaning that they cannot absorb the entire richness and fullness of the Word of God, because they are created recessive. They are is It is nothing racist or whatever about my expression about that. It is basically me understanding how and why they operate the way that they do. And for me to say, okay, now understand why it's so much, killing amongst, the planets, and warring,
yes,
and,
yes,
the diseases and things of that nature. That helps me understand them a bit better in the sense of why they do what they do. And so I'm saying, in the sense that, and I'm connecting that to what you just expressed when you say
yes,
about, them, the teachers passing the information, and not passing information, and not passing the correct information along. So
yes.
that's what I'm saying. I feel like it's been translated in a way that them, in their recessive thought processes, can absorb it, because they can't absorb the fullness, the richness. We can absorb the fullness and the richness. We have our melanin.
Yes,
We have different
yes,
factors in us that
I
can
agree,
help
agree
us
with you. I
remember
agree with
and
you,
recall certain things.
but in doing so, they have removed, they have made Noah flood as a global one. You're getting the point. In the Bible, when you
Say it
have the
again. Say
global
that
flood,
again.
and when
Say
you
that
ask
again. Say it again. What?
the Noah flood, the Noah flood, the Noah flood, in the Bible, they most of the Bible followers, they say that this flood was a global one. Everyone perished, and from Ham, Shem, and Japheth, all the human being are from these three characters, right? This is a
Yes, I
distortion.
recall. I recall.
Yeah, this is a distortion, because in doing so, they have eliminated two history. One is the Cain history has been destroyed in the flood. At the same time, the Tamil history has been destroyed. So now the whole world, we are trying to see the whole world in the light of Ham, Sham, and Japheth. This is where the mistake is.
Now,
Now,
okay, I hear that. So I want to unify
yeah,
with that. I want to
yeah,
unify. I want to
yes,
do my best to connect mentally how I perceive it. Okay, has it been destroyed or erased, or has it been rephrased in a way that the Tamil people are not able to readily identify it, or others? What I mean by that is this: there are times that a company, right? We're talking about business. I like to use analogies to help unify the mind. There are times where businesses, right, will rebrand, or they will reincorporate, right, in another way, or they will take another name, okay? But it's still the same. It's still the same business,
yes, yes.
but it's not.
See,
It doesn't bear the same name. And what I'm saying to you is, I want to go into the Bible and go into the Tamil people's holy book and see. Was there just a name change, or was the exact energy and spirit and soul of the Tamil people left out? Because I tend to feel that it's there, but the names just changed. And what I feel by say by that is, if Adam appears in the very first degree, Barashif Genesis, where it says, says, let us make man, and it talks about the ground, and it says Adamah, and then it later on it talks about the creation of Adam further on, and Eve, and then it talks about Adam again. And you're saying that that's a Tamil word, and I'm saying to myself, okay, I can understand that, I can reason that, I can agree with it and unify with it. So I'm saying, in a sense, is, by the time the flood issue came around, was there just a simple name change, meaning a rebranding of the Tamil people, or the Tamil way, in that sense, and everyone has basically ignored it, and for generations, for hundreds of years, or what have you, thousands of years, or what have you? Or is it purposefully everything has been erased? Because I don't see the point in erasing Tamil story or history or fact or truth at the um flood story or narrative, but yet is but the word is included in the first chapter. Like, why wouldn't they remove that word? Why wouldn't they remove the word Adam? Why wouldn't they remove, any other words that are connected to the Tamil language or the Tamil people or what have you? I mean, why remove at the Noah story or the flood story, but not remove prior to? Like, why leave any trace of the Tamil history?
Yes, yes, and even even though before Adam also, they are saying that there were other people. There is a story of Lilith also, the story of Lilith. But again, the tree of life, the forbidden fruit, which the Bible is talking about, and the tree of knowledge. So the actually the tree knowledge comes from God, wisdom comes from God. Education was given, taught by pen to by God to human being. So education, this thing is totally weak. By eating something, we don't get knowledge. Remember that, Pepper. We don't get knowledge. That the tree of life is for the DNA, the blueprint of life. So when the Adam and when the Eve ate the took the first bite, and that's the reason why girl and the boys of the same age, the girls get puberty first, and then the males have both the X and Y chromosome. So because when Adam and Eve were created, they were not created as a they were created as a teenage boy and girl with God's particle, earthly material, and Eve by the rib of the Adam. Basically a teenage boy with no hormones, with no hormones change. So when they took the tree of life, the forbidden fruit or the DNA, they had a change in their hormones, and they to explore what's happening to their body. They remove their clothes, heavenly clothes. So this story has been changed, as if the Adam had a first wife as Lilith. They had sex and everything. They were talking like that in the Garden of Eden. So these are all thing interpolation in the Bible. You're getting the point. The tree of life is the DNA. Only after eating the DNA fruit, DNA, the hormones changed, and that's the reason why Adam and Eve became naked. Before that, they had no hormones. They had no sex in the Garden of Eden. The Lilith character again is a fake one. So, and when they have got the third particle, because as I have told you, we are God's breath, God's particle, we are earthly material, and the DNA, the blueprint of life. So this is how the three particle came into a human body, and then God send on the earth, and here the story of Adam and his children started. So whatever the story the Bible is talking about Lilith, again it's all distorted one. You're getting the point.
I do. I overstand, and I overstand it in this sense. and this is what I meditated on, and that's what has come to me. The eating of the fruit, the eating of the DNA is basically because one of the things that I teach about is being careful what goes into the eye gate, the ear gate, the mouth gate, the reproductive gate, and the anal gate. Okay. And what I mean by that is this: in that story, what the Most High revealed to me is that the eating of the DNA is taking into the reproductive gates the DNA. That was the fruit. That was the mixing of the fruit that basically ignited or woke up another part of their being. And so I'm saying in a sense that, that story is there, but it's told in a rephrased way. And what I mean by that is I have one heiress and four heirs, right? When I am speaking to them in a particular way, I do not speak to them in the same fashion when I'm teaching them something, because I do home education. And when I teach them something in home education, I'm doing my best to get them to learn a lesson or wisdom. I don't speak to them in the same exact fashion that I would speak to my mother, my father, my husband, my any other adult. Like, I would not speak to them in the same fashion, because I have to rephrase it in a way where they would automatically absorb it and never forget what I'm expressing to them. And then I allow them, once I have expressed something to them, I will allow them to experience life or find out or reaffirm the information in different places. Sometimes I have to rephrase what I originally expressed to them, because each one of my heirs, they all have a different absorption level in terms of what I express to them. So sometimes I have to repeat something to someone 2 times, 3 times. Sometimes I have to continuously repeat things around the house. And sometimes I only have to repeat certain things once, or sometimes I don't have to verbally say anything. I can just show in action, you know? And so I'm saying, in a sense of, I sincerely feel that that information dealing with the fruit, the eating of the DNA, it is there, but it has been rebranded. It has been rephrased in a way that the recessive, the children, the youngest of the creations of earthling humans, can better absorb it. Because again, as I expressed before, they are unable to absorb, obviously, the richness that melanin affords us. We're able to take the energy from our sun and absorb it and be able to use what we get from our sun, whether it be directly or through the plants, etc., or the fruit, the vegetation, the vegetables and stuff. We're able to take that information and remember. We're able to take the information and recall and recollect and do things and fix things and remember the laws of God to some degree. And so I feel that there is not as much division there as much as it is rebranded information. And so I would want to offer to anyone who has been participating, that I am so grateful for you having this room available, because I seek to unify with the information, because I see both sides of it. Being I'm in on the land misnomered America, and so I overstand and see both sides of it, because I'm a melanin rich being, you're a melanin rich being, but I also, when I go to the store and things of that nature, I see those people. I see the Caucasian, I see the cane or what have you, and I always say to myself, well, what is the division about? What is the divisiveness about? And now that I'm hearing you, I understand. You said the laws have been the holy books have been given to them, and they've been grossly changed and distorted. And so then I asked the question, well, what is the practical benefit for them changing it? And the only answer that I get back when I ask that question is it is an attempt for them to unify with the information, but they have to have it in the vibration that they vibrate on. I'm taught about 3, 6, 9 ethers. And if they vibrate on a 3, for example, just for principle example, then they cannot absorb the 9. They cannot absorb the 7. They cannot absorb at the 6 level or at the 5 or the 4. They have to absorb at the level that they can get it, in order for them to unify. Even though their way is very chaotic, it is it's bizarre in many of the things that we observe on the planet. However, you know as the Most High says in that I read in Isaiah 45:7 degree 45.7 degree, I see that the Most High created all things, the good and the evil, the light and the darkness. So I feel like, in a sense, that again, I feel like Tamil's story is still there. It's just been rebranded, meaning renamed, so that people who cannot absorb the richness of what the Tamil way does, they can still get a small piece of it and still be able to unify with that, even though they may not be able to unify with the rest of it. And so I'm able to unify with it because I understand what both sides are saying. I'm sitting as a being who's watching and listening and saying, hey, how can I enter into the situation and add my piece of the puzzle? Because this is my offering, this is my piece of the puzzle, that Tamil history is still there, even in the Quran, but just rebranded. And what I mean by that is, I like to deal with the verb of things. When we deal with the verb of things, we tend to find um uh the uh the patterns for things, the numbers, right? Numbers that don't lie, patterns that don't lie, God that doesn't lie. And so when we find those things, we can find the intention and the motive and the direction. Once we find the intention and motive, then we know why and how. We can find out what was done, when it was done, who it was done to. And so that's what I'm dealing with. I'm dealing with going to the root of that and finding out why. And so you make the expression, the Tamil history is removed from the Bible, removed from the different texts, and I'm saying, okay, I can see those same stories. Like when I read my Els Holy Torah, where it contains the information of Atrahasis and Enuma Elish, I can see the Tamil people all in there. But then when I go to the Bible, there's like different labels, it's different names, it's a name game going around. So I'm saying that I feel like the Tamil is there, is just I have to go into my Els Holy Torah and put it side by side, and I have to go to the sacred book that the Tamil people use and put it side by side and see, hey, what is the verb or vibration that's the same throughout each one. And then that helps me clarify, whatever name or nouns that have been attached to bring about all of the division, because that's what I'm seeing. It's the same restaurant, it just has another name now at this point, but it's still serving the same vegetables and fruit, the good stuff. It's still serving, the good drinks or beverages or what have you. So I'm saying, in a sense, and I'm using those analogies to help paint a picture for those who may need that. And so that's where I'm on the unification of it. I feel it is there. Again, I look forward to the opportunity again to see or know about the sacred book that the Tamil people use. And while I'm on it, I want to ask you, what is the name of the sacred book that the Tamil people use that may be different from the Bible or the Torah or the Tanakh or the Quran?
See, there are many books actually, and I will give you the link actually because it's mostly in the Tamil language. It has not been translated yet. So whichever the translated version is there, I will forward the link to you.
Thank you. So that means I'm going to have to learn Tamil language in order to read the others.
See, the people are now working hard to get because see, truth can be said in few words. But to deceive people and to commercialize the truth, they have mixed certain things to for some material gain. So that's the reason. That's why even the people who are into research, they are not bringing the fact in a few sentences. They are trying to play with words so that people may get some, if they are spiritually high, they will understand the truth. Otherwise the common people will never be able to understand the truth. That's how the people are writing books nowadays. They can tell the truth in few words, but they don't want to tell it in few words. That's the problem. Everyone wants a commercial gain out of the truth.
Yeah, I can agree with that. That and for me, that is another reason also that I feel that the history has been uh rebranded or rephrased or changed because for the commercial purpose, a way to get money or energy from that. So I completely unify with that, what you are expressing on that.
And this see Europe today, they have entered the world of spiritualism. They have entered the world of a single currency, unity among the different language speaking people, their clan, and they are now going back into meditation and yoga. So they are changing. Whereas the Europe, America is concerned, the land of melanated people and the natives and the Caucasians. The problem is there. But as a European country, those people, they had a phase of bad time, wars, and after wars they entered into the age of spiritualism, and then later on they are living with a single currency, and people are happy there. If that's the reason why the whole Africa, India people are trying to go to America. I mean, going to Europe for a better life, because they have really changed themselves after the war, World War. They have picked up spiritualism. So Americans, they have to again go back to the spiritualism, but they are not doing this because they are the most what do you say, antichrist or the anti-spiritual nation on the earth.
Okay, well, I have to interject because the land misnomer America contains various groups of people. So to lump everyone into that would be, in for the lack of any better terms, a form of ignorance. Because all people who are on this land do not give into what you are expressing. Many of us here, we remember, we recall, we recollect to some degree where we come from, or who was our heavenly fathers. And so um I would say that those who came here and mixed in, they give the impression, because of the commercialism and the advertisements, that everyone on this land is following or doing the same exact thing in terms of intention. Meaning that if you see one celebrating something, and it's propagated that way in the media, it's overstood or taken to mean that everyone is celebrating in that same way. And what I mean by that is this: I particularly do not necessarily create idolatry out of any particular holiday. However, I do observe the time. I do observe that it is going on around me. However, within my own temple, my own being, I do not partake in that way. So I'm saying it would make someone who is not from here or from my home to say, "Oh, she's an American. Oh, she's into this craziness, or she's into that craziness because she's an American." However, there's a difference between the land and the misnomer corporation, such as the United States of America Incorporated, that has the commercialism going, that has the media going, where who we are and what we do is distorted. Meaning there are many different ways here on this land. There are so many different people and cultures and spirit and ether and soul, and it's so many different kinds here. And it's so easy to um hear the media or see the media and have the media paint a picture that everyone has forsaken the most high God, that everyone is on Satanism, that everyone is, into division and fighting, and everyone is, it's easy to paint that picture. And I know the media has done such a good job, because the rest of the world looks at, like, at America like it's the devil or evil, when in actuality all of it stems from that place in DC, the government. It's not everyone here on this land. Everyone here on this land has not forsaken God. We may have been, some may have been put to sleep, on certain things as it pertains to God. Like, for instance, I had no idea that Tamil was in the scriptures until you expressed it so. So that part of information, I can say my family or ancestors obviously went to sleep on. Obviously, they forgot it. However, I am a single being who is hearing you. And as I am examining what you express and examining what I had been taught since a young heiress, a young daughter coming up, I can now recall, recollect, and remember. And I can now, from this point, correct it. I can correct it amongst my people, my kind, and thus unify with the Tamil people in their way, in that light. So I'm saying I appreciate this opportunity, and again I say thank you to having this room open, and I yield my mic.
Thank you, Sister Priya. Uh, okay. And regarding the media, yeah, I agree with this, because we in India are also facing the same problem what Americans are facing because of the media. And we are also having a bad name because of the media now. Yeah, media plays an important role in deciding what the country is, but actually, in reality, it's different. Yes.
Yes, and I agree to that, because one of the things that I come with and teach with is language law liquidation. And I share that very heavily, because in my meditation, the Most High revealed to me, my holy soul, Holy Spirit, Holy Ghost, whichever words people subscribe to, revealed to me that in our universe's natures, there are three gateways that are absolute. That is language, law, and liquidation. What do I mean by that? Everything, whether it be within our bodies, in ourselves, whether it be amongst each other, and I mean earthling humans or just earthlings, period, whether it be the plants or the sea creatures or those that are within the planet, or whether it be from one planet to the next, or one solar system to the next, and one galaxy to the next, etc., there has to be some form of communication. It must happen, whether it is negative or positive, whether it is agreeable or disagreeable, whether it is a stop, a pause, or a go. It has to happen. It must happen. That is absolute. It is irrefutable. Communication happens, even death, even life, even in between. Okay? Existence and non-existence. All of it is communication to some degree. Okay? So I'm hard body. I'm strongly convicted on this. No one can shake me on it. That's my foundational root. That's what I recall, recollect, remember when I come to this planet, that I'm come here to deliver that and to help others remember and recall that. And so the next portion is law, where all beings are adhering to absolute laws that govern the cells in our body, right? Us with each other, us with animals and plants and things of that nature, us with each other planet, etc., us with all the other galaxies and solar systems, etc. There's laws that definitely, govern. When you go to another planet, there's laws that govern your weight, that govern this and that, okay? And so those are absolutes, okay? Nothing can change that. It's irrefutable. The last one is the liquidation, the currency or the commercialism, the flow. the exchange of something for something else, and vice versa. And so those are absolutes for me, as I understand it, how it was given to me for me to give to others. And so by the United States of America Incorporated taking control of the media, it allows them to affect that first gateway, which is language, meaning to push that amongst the world, you know, meaning the first image that you see of melanin rich people here is that, oh, that's black on black crime, but they never show you the white on white crime that occurs between the police and the Caucasian. Okay? They don't show the history of the Caucasian dealing with Kicked Out of Heaven, a book by brother Kenan Booker, who gives an account of their history over once they come out of the caves, and they had such violent history, such as feeding their babies and their infants alcohol, okay, to bashing their babies, to it's so many different things. No one pushes that because they now have taken control of that first gateway. And it's not that the control cannot be restored or balanced. However, they've managed to find a way to affect the media in all countries, it seems, you know, where the information about the Tamil people is twisted and distorted or left out or rebranded, where no one can identify it easily or directly. And so I can say that that is the cause. They found that way. They found that way. They know what they're doing, you know, and it's time at this time, like you said, this we are living in those last days. It's time for the order to be restored. It's time for the unification. That serpent is turned to a dragon, and now it's time to slay the dragon. You know, that's all. It's time to do that. As I always like to say, and you will see in my bio, you know, I am in Jill. Injil. I'm Injil 12 woman. I'm Injil 12 female. I'm here to deliver. I'm here to help deliver. That's my place here. However, I know that for so long as people do not understand why they do what they do, you know, it's gonna that dragon is gonna continue. That dragon is gonna continue getting bigger and bigger and bigger and out of control. We have to take control of media. And I'm saying in a sense of locally, you know, and the individuals collected branching out and communicating, such as like how we're doing here on Clubhouse. We're able to take control of media in a sense of the word of God says charity begins at home. So that says for me, as we are uniting here on Clubhouse within the home of our melanin, we're able to spread that love. We're able to correct those things that the media has warped for so many generations. We're talking about hundreds of generations that, you know, the media is just taking things and just, you know, to me, I did not know about the connection between Tamil and things of that nature. And now that I'm thinking about it, I have a professor when I attended college years ago. He was from Sri Lanka, and I kept trying to understand why was there such a warm, welcoming, you know, energy or feeling about my professor when I went to get tutoring or get help for something. Or and matter of fact, he was my professor who allowed me to he was my supervising professor when I wanted to do independent studies and things of that nature, and I was trying to understand why is it that he was so welcoming to it. And now, hearing you for the past few weeks or months or so, I now understand that is the connection. The word of God is the connection. So I'm going to say I thank you, and I want to yield my mic.
Vanakkam. Thank you.